Hello guys, welcome back. So guys, we have already seen this Selenium interview questions part 1. We have already covered top 30 questions. Okay, now this is a part 2. In this part 2 we will be covering next 30 questions. Okay. So let me open that Word document quickly. Let me check the recording is on. Yes, recording is on. Okay guys, now let's start. Now the questions will be more difficult, more advanced, like in terms of technical, in terms of knowledge point of view. So far, we have seen some theoretical question that what is Selenium, types of Selenium, what is the purpose of WebDriver, and features, advantages, disadvantages, and all those stuff. Now it will be more technical. So the question number 31 is that what are the verification points available in Selenium? It's very important interview question that we have different verification points, or we say validation points. In Selenium IDE, although we don't use Selenium IDE, we have Selenium verify and assert commands are available for the verification points. Okay, but no need to cover, don't worry about if you don't aware what is Selenium, what is verify and assert commands in Selenium IDE. Nobody is gonna ask you now because Selenium IDE is gone from the market. The important thing is this: in Selenium WebDriver, see, Selenium WebDriver does not give any inbuilt feature or any default feature to provide assertions or to provide verifications, right? If you are using JUnit or TestNG, if you're using TestNG, we have to use assertions. Either we have to use soft assertions or hard assertions, right? I'll give you an example verification point. Let's say you want to check the title of the page, right? To check the page title, to check the certain text, I want to check that any heading or any header or something, or maybe some element I want to check. In that case, we have to use TestNG assertions or JUnit assertions, right? If you remember our code, let me quickly show you that uh, in our page object model also we have written some assertions, guys, in the test class. So this is assertion, guys. If you see, let me open home page test. Yeah, see, this is assertions. I'm getting the page title, and after getting the title, I'm asserting it. Okay, so in Selenium, we have to use assert class. This assert class is coming from where? It's coming from TestNG, guys. You can see that it's coming from TestNG. So in Selenium WebDriver, we don't have any by default or inbuilt assertions. Okay. How to launch browser using Selenium WebDriver? Quickly, they will ask you to to check your knowledge. Okay, that quickly. So first of all, you have to say that we can launch Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Safari. So quickly for Firefox, please say that this thing before, and in 2.53 we were not using any Geeko driver concept, right guys? We were not using any Geeko driver concept. So if you are using less than 2.53, so for Firefox, no Geeko driver. Okay, but if you're using greater than 2.53, or maybe in Selenium 3.x version, it means 3.101, 3.1, and 7 is available now, 3.7, we have to use Geeko driver. Okay, so you have to tell this thing for Firefox. Geeko driver concept is there in 3.x. Okay, for Firefox, to launch Firefox, we have to use this thing. To launch Google Chrome, we have to use Chrome driver.exe. Okay, first set the property, system.set property you have to use, and remember the property name, guys. They might ask you at the time of interview for Firefox, what is a property, what is the system's property. So if you remember that our code, that we have written that property already inside the base class, I'll show you. See, for Chrome, this is a property name. WebDriver.chrome.driver is the property name, and this is the Chrome driver.exe file path I have given. Same thing for Firefox, we have to use Geeko driver. So WebDriver.geeko.driver is the property name, and this is the path of that Geeko driver.exe. Same thing for Internet Explorer, you have to use Internet Explorer.exe file. Okay, guys. So for, and how to launch WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver, WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver, Internet Explorer driver, and Safari driver. Sometimes they might ask you how to launch Safari. So guys, we have to use Safari extension. If you remember, please refer this video, how to launch Safari browser with Selenium WebDriver. People are asking this question these days. Okay, how will you launch Safari in Selenium 3? In Selenium 3, you have to download, okay, Safari extension, and then you have to use WebDriver driver equal to Selenium, WebDriver driver equal to new Safari driver you have to use. Okay, so these, please don't say that, okay, yeah, WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Fine, this is the answer, but this is not the correct full answer. The full correct answer is you have to explain what is Geeko driver. Before 2.53 and 2.53, we were using Geeko driver, but after 3.x, we have to use Geeko driver, right? We were not using Geeko driver in 2.53 and before that. And then in Chrome driver also, we have to use Chrome driver.exe file. Internet Explorer also, we have to use iDriver.exe file. For Safari, we have to use Safari extension. Is the Firefox driver is a class or interface? Very, very famous interview question. Firefox driver is a Java class. It's a class. It's not an interface. Guys. WebDriver is an interface. So always remember, WebDriver is an interface and Firefox driver is a class which is implementing WebDriver interface. Okay, guys. So let me quickly tell you one thing that okay. See, sorry. This is WebDriver, and these are the classes: Firefox driver, Chrome driver, Internet Explorer driver, Safari driver, and let's see, this is Opera driver. All these classes are implementing this particular guy, this interface. Okay, so WebDriver interface is the parent of all these classes. So this is called dynamic polymorphism, guys. What do you call dynamic polymorphism? Please learn this term. It's a very technical interview question, that what do you mean by WebDriver driver equal to Firefox driver? Okay, WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. Please explain this line. Okay, so if you are writing this line, WebDriver driver equal to new Internet Explorer driver, what do you mean by this? So this is mean that new, this is class first of all. Okay, this is the class and WebDriver is the interface, guys. Okay, and what is driver? Never say that driver is the object. Most of the people, they do this silly mistake. Driver is not the object. A driver is the object reference name. Okay, because WebDriver is an interface and we cannot create the object of interface in Java. So driver is the object reference name, guys. Okay, and this WebDriver driver is equal to new Internet Explorer driver or new Chrome driver. Means new Internet Explorer driver means we are creating the object of Internet Explorer driver class. We are creating the object of Chrome driver class. Okay, we are creating the object of Firefox driver class. It means this class object can be referred by parent interface reference variable. This concept in Java is called dynamic polymorphism. Please go through this video, guys. Okay, in Java I have already covered this topic. See, in Java, if you see this particular thing here, okay, inheritance, polymorphism, and method overriding in Java, you will get to know that what is dynamic polymorphism and compile time polymorphism, both. Okay, so please, okay, now the next question is that what is the super interface of WebDriver? Okay, the super interface of WebDriver is search context is the super interface. Okay, WebDriver is also is an interface, and super interface of WebDriver is search context. Okay, next question is explain the line of code WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver that I have, or maybe Firefox driver. Okay, couple of lines necessary. Okay, so we have to tell that WebDriver is an interface and we are creating an object reference of WebDriver, and which is referring what? Which is referring new Firefox driver class object. So WebDriver is an interface. They will ask you, they will make you confused that WebDriver is a class or interface. You have to say, 50% people say that WebDriver is a class. No, WebDriver is an interface. Okay, WebDriver is an interface. Driver is the reference of that particular interface, is referring this guy. New Firefox driver mean this is the class object. Class object what? Firefox driver class object. Okay, so Firefox driver is a class which is implementing this WebDriver interface, right? So what is the relationship between a class and an interface? By using implementation, by using implements keyword, guys. So this is the way you have to explain. Don't say WebDriver is a class and don't say driver is the object. No, If you are going in a good product company, people will, people will seriously, people will reject you immediately if you are saying WebDriver is a class or driver is a class object. No, WebDriver is an interface. Please, I always reject in the first round itself if say that WebDriver is in. They are very good in Selenium. Doesn't matter to me. If they are not good in these things, in these basics, then they cannot write good codes. Okay, so always remember this thing. This single line having couple of questions. What is Firefox driver? Is a class. What is WebDriver? Is an interface. What is driver? Interface reference variable. What is new Firefox driver? This is an object. This right hand side line is called object. Who is referring this object? Driver is referring this object. What is this concept is called? Dynamic polymorphism or dynamic binding or runtime polymorphism. Right? So please explain like this. Now, what is the purpose that why now the most important question, I think so many times you guys have asked in the WhatsApp group and the Telegram group also the same question, that why do we write WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver? We can write Firefox driver equal to new Firefox driver also. We can create the object of Firefox driver which can be referred by Firefox driver reference variable itself. But why do we need to write WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver? Why do we write that? See, if I write WebDriver, now see the concept. If I write like this, guys, let me write it over here. If I write this line, let me copy paste Firefox driver equal to new Firefox driver, right? And in the next line, simple, I'll write quickly driver dot get. I'll write http www.google.com. Okay, this is the line I have written. Now tomorrow if I see that, okay, fine, Firefox is launching and Google is opening. Tomorrow my manager says that, okay, tomorrow you want to execute the same script on Chrome. Okay, same script on Chrome if you want to write. And then again you have to comment this line, and what you have to write? You have to write like this, that Chrome driver equal to like this, right? Please ignore the spelling typo mistake. Chrome driver like this, right, for Chrome. So again you have to comment this line and you have to use this line. Now tomorrow if I say that please use the same script for Safari or Internet Explorer, so you have to comment these line and you have to write the code for Safari. WebDriver driver, Safari driver equal to new Safari driver or something like that, right? So that's a problem, that again and again, so you cannot achieve the same driver, you cannot achieve cross browser testing, right? If you are using this way, if you're writing the code this way. So we always write WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. This is the best way, this is the right way of initializing your WebDriver. Now WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Now we can write WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver on the basis of if else condition. Remember in our code also we have written like this. Single WebDriver is getting initialized with Chrome driver on the basis of some condition. If the browser name is Chrome, then we are initializing with Chrome driver. If the Firefox browser name is equal to Firefox, then we are initializing with Firefox driver. Same thing, we can write multiple else if conditions for different browsers, but the driver is same. See, this is a driver initialized over here. So driver reference is same. We are not creating multiple references, okay, multiple object references of WebDriver. It should be always single reference. Single WebDriver interface reference variable should be created, which is pointing to different browsers on the basis of condition. If you want to execute your automation test suite on Firefox, then it should point to Firefox driver. Otherwise, it should point to Chrome driver like this. Okay, guys. So that's why we always write WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. It is also fine. This is also fine. You can write driver.get, driver.findElement, by.xpath, whatever, driver.maximize or driver.get window handles, whatever you want to perform with driver, you can use the same thing with this line also. But tomorrow, if you want to achieve Chrome driver, then again you have to comment this line and then you have to use for Firefox driver or Safari driver respectively, right? So never use this thing. This is the bad, bad recommend. This is not recommended. This is the bad style of writing the code, okay, in Selenium, right? So this is the very famous, very important interview question. Why we write WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver? Why don't we write Firefox driver equal to new Firefox driver? Got it? And this concept is called dynamic polymorphism according to Java, and they will ask you 100% sure they will ask you this question. So please explain like that. You have to show your knowledge that you are different from others. What is this concept according to it? Shows your Java knowledge also. It shows your you know about the object oriented programming concept, right? It shows this single answer you are showing multiple skills, so they will be impressed automatically. If you're simply saying that, okay, no, in our framework my manager, my team lead, they wrote like this, that's why I'm following, this is the worst answer. You know, this is what we are doing, you know how to launch Chrome, but what is the reason behind that? What is the approach? It shows your design, that okay, how exactly you can design, how exactly you can understand the object oriented programming concept. Okay, this is the level you have to show at the time of interview, guys. Right, most of the people, they are asking that they are good in Selenium, they are good in WebDriver and everything. They are writing the code, designing the test cases, but they are not able to crack the interviews, because in interview they won't ask you such stupid, I mean, the basics of programmings in Selenium. They will ask you the concept. If your concepts are good, then you can crack anything, guys. Right. Now, what are different exceptions we have faced in Selenium WebDriver? See, Selenium WebDriver ultimately is totally based on Java, right? So there might be some Java exception, there might be some specific to Selenium WebDriver exception. So we have WebDriver exception, we have timeout exception, low alert present exceptions. Next question they might ask you, please explain why we are getting no alert exception or timeout exception, no such window exception, no such element exception, right? Or yeah, I'll repeat this, timeout exception I have written. Okay, so these are different Selenium exceptions. Stale element reference exception. Remember that is why we get a stale element. Okay, so another very important thing is that stale element reference exception. No such element exception. Let's see. No such element exception. You have written one XPath or ID, and that element is not available. Okay, an element is could not be loaded properly. In that case, no such element exception will be there. Okay, stale element reference exception, because of HTML DOM has been changed, or maybe DOM could not be loaded properly. So please refer this video again. I'll save this video, guys. Why we get stale element exception? See, sorry, this, guys, what is HTML DOM and stale element exception? You will learn in 36 minutes. You will learn a lot of things. Okay, it will clear a lot of interview questions. Okay, so these are different exceptions. You can timeout exception means, let's say you have given explicitly wait or implicitly wait of 20 seconds, and after 20 seconds also that element is not available. In that case, it will give you timeout exception. Some WebDriver exception we are getting that, let's see, you are not launching timeout exception. Sorry, WebDriver exception you are getting because of, let's say, you are doing some problem with the, or maybe your Chrome is running on a different node. Chrome could not be launched properly, or maybe some mismatching with the version. You are using older version of Selenium and you are using latest version of Chrome. In that case, you will be getting WebDriver exception. Sometimes you are getting illegal state exception, guys. Very important interview question. I always ask this question: illegal illegal state exception, illegal state element exception, something like that. If you don't write, okay, illegal state exception. Okay, what do you mean by illegal state exception? Illegal state exception means that you're directly using WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. If you're using like this, see, quickly I'll show you. See, guys, this is very important. If you don't write WebDriver driver, if you don't write the system set property line, right, let's see, I comment this line, and you're directly launching Chrome driver without defining the property, or launching the Firefox driver without defining the Geeko driver property, in that case you will get illegal reference exception. Okay, so if I run this, let's see, home page test Java, let's see what is happening, right? So let's see. Okay, so guys, it will give you, maybe the project is not set up properly. Yeah, see, it is giving you some exception. That if you see the exception, illegal state exception, guys, right? And in the console you can see that a path to the driver executable must be set by the WebDriver Chrome.driver system property, right? So this is called illegal state exception. It's a very famous interview question, guys, right? So please go through all these exceptions. What do you mean by illegal state exception? When we don't specify the Chrome driver property and Gecko driver property and iDriver property. How to log into any site if it is showing any authentication pop-up for username password? Yes, very important interview question, right? So sometimes people are asking, let's say I'm entering the URL and I have to log in, but there is no login screen, there is no username password. But sometimes it happens that, okay, let's see, uh, sometime what is happening that, okay, the moment you enter the URL, one pop-up is coming where you have to enter the username and password without the login screen. It means on the alert page itself you are getting username password. So how to do that? Okay, how to solve this problem? So to do this thing, we have to pass the username and password in the URL itself. So simple, what we have to do: http username colon password at the rate and whatever the URL. Let's see, my username is let's see admin, and your password is let's see admin123, and then at the rate, let's see abc.com, xyz.com, something like that you have to use. Okay guys, this is what you have to use. Okay, this is what you have to use, like this. Pass your username password along with the URL. If a pop-up is coming with the username password field, obviously you cannot spy because it's available on the pop-up on alert. So obviously you cannot write driver.findElement by.xpath, right? So in that case you have to use like this. Now the most important thing, what are the different types of weights are available in Selenium WebDriver, right? So different types of weight, see how to explain. We have two types of weight in Selenium we can provide. What first is static weight, another one is dynamic weight. Static weight is very straightforward. How to give the answer? Static weight is thread.sleep. Okay, but which is not recommended. In case of emergency or for debugging purpose, we can use thread.sleep. But dynamic weights are available. We have implicitly weight, we have explicitly weight, and fluent weight. Okay, so please go through all these things. I have already covered implicitly weight, explicitly weight, and everything in my videos. So please go through those things. Okay, I'm not going to explain because it will take a lot of time to explain implicitly weight and explicitly weight and fluent weight. What is the difference between implicitly weight and explicitly weight? Okay, so please go through these videos. Implicitly weight is the global weight which is applicable on the WebDriver driver instance. Explicitly weight on the basis of condition on a specific element we have to provide on the basis of some expected condition. Fluent weight is having the mechanism of polling. Okay, so please go through all these three types of weight. They will ask you, especially with difference between implicitly weight and explicitly weight. And what do you mean by static weight and dynamic weight? Static weight is thread.sleep. Thread.sleep 5 seconds I have given, it means your script will be paused for 5 seconds. Okay, now the next question is that what is implicitly weight in Selenium WebDriver? That I have already told you that for a certain amount of time, if you want to wait for this for all the elements, which is a global wait. Okay, so I have already explained so many times that what do you mean by implicitly wait. I'll put this particular the document also, so please go through it, the proper definition of this thing. What is WebDriver wait in Selenium WebDriver, right guys? So WebDriver wait is applied on a certain element with defined expected condition and time. It means that is called also explicitly weight. Explicitly weight is also called, guys, WebDriver weight. Applied to the specific element, this weight can also throw an exception when element is not found, obviously, right? So this is kind of WebDriver weight is kind of explicitly weight. We don't have any term that explicit weight. Implicit weight, we have that keyword implicit weight or implicit method is there. Okay, and they will ask you how will you define implicitly weight. So this is a syntax of implicitly weight. If you go to the base class, see, this is called driver.manage.timeouts.implicitly wait, and implicitly wait, how much time of wait you want to provide, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or whatever. Okay, so this is called implicitly wait, and this is called page load timeout. See guys, one more thing we have to add it over here. We have to explain page load timeout also. Page load timeout, this is also kind of wait, especially for page loading. Okay, so these four, and last one is static wait, that is your thread dot sleep. Okay, you have to explain like that. What is implicitly wait, what is explicitly wait in the form of WebDriver wait, and what is fluent wait. Please go through the definition. Okay, all these three types of wait. Okay, you have to explain guys. I have explained so many times what is fluent wait, what is explicitly wait, what is page load timeout, what is implicitly wait, and what is thread dot sleep. Okay, please go through these 3-4 questions. 100%, 200% they will ask you at a time of interview. Okay, now how to input text in the text box using Selenium WebDriver quickly, very quickly, that by using send keys. Simple, right? By using send keys method. Let's see, I want to enter something like this, test. So simple, by using send keys you have to use. Okay, by using send keys. Let me remove these unnecessary lines. Okay, how to enter the text, and input text using send keys method. How to click method. How to input text in the text box using without calling the send keys. Then without calling the send keys, then we have one method is available, that is called JavaScript executor guys. Remember JavaScript executor we covered. Okay, so there will be multiple questions on JavaScript executors. See guys, become an expert in JavaScript executor. This is the amazing thing, really really good thing you can explain at the time of interview. You can impress your interviewer. Okay, please go through with this video. 45 minutes video, 43 minutes of video is there. Okay, how to click on a specific button, link, images without using send keys, I have already explained over here, so please go through it. How to, okay, simple. So this is the method. Let's see, I want to enter test.com, and simple, you have to enter. Let me remove this code so that you won't be confused. Simple, initialize the JavaScript executor like this. JavaScript executor js equal to, and WebDriver, convert your WebDriver into JavaScript executor. This is the WebDriver reference, like this is the WebDriver reference, typecast into JavaScript executor, and then js.execute script. You have to write document.get element by id of, let's say, your username, password. Okay, and then dot value is equal to this, so it will automatically enter the value in that particular element. Okay, without using send keys. So let's see, sometimes send keys doesn't work, or XPath doesn't work, or very complex XPath is there. In that case, we can use JavaScript executor. Okay, and but there are so many things in JavaScript executor guys. Please go through this video. I have properly explained each and everything. See, in this video I cannot explain again and again all those things. I can tell you this is the best interview question, and the best solution is in this video. Please go through this video. Okay, how to clear, very quick question, that how to clear the specific text field. A simple dot clear method. How to clear? Simple, driver dot find element by dot xpath and dot clear. Simple dot clear method is there, it will clear it. Let's see, one text field is there, username is already filled, so first it will clear and then it will enter the value, right? So dot clear method is there. Yes, so how to get a text of a web element. So how to get a text of web element, that we have to use get text method guys, right? Let's see, some heading is there. Let's see, this is the heading. I'll show you. Let's see. Okay, let's see, this is a heading. Maybe, or maybe let's see, this is the I'll show you. Let me log in. Okay, maybe I'm wrong username password. Fine. So whatever, let's see, this is the text I want to get. This is the footer link or some private privacy policy or something like that. So we have to use dot get text method. Simple dot get text method to get the text of any element, any specific element, either it is header or text or whatever. Or let's see, this paragraph is written. I want to get this paragraph. Okay, so simple driver dot find element by dot xpath or by dot id of this paragraph dot get text, and store in some string variable and print on the console. And if you want to validate it, use assertions or validations, right? So this is what we have to use. Get text method. Unnecessary code, I'm just removing this, no need to write. Okay, how to get an attribute value using Selenium WebDriver. So we have to use get attribute method. What do you mean by attribute value? See, I'll show you. Let's see, this is the username field, and I inspect this. This is the input. I want to check this input. What is the value of type, right? And what is the value of let's see, name. So simple. I'll use by driver dot find element by dot xpath dot get attribute, and I'll pass type. So it will return text, right? I'll use simple by dot xpath dot get attribute username, or maybe name. It will give you username. Okay, so these are attributes, guys. Type, class, placeholder, name, these are attributes. If we want to get the value of these attributes, we have to use get attribute method is there. Okay, get attribute method is there. Okay, so this is the, let me remove this thing. This is the question, question number 47. Line number 40, question number 48 says that, okay, how to click on a hyperlink using Selenium WebDriver. So there are two ways. Either you can use by.link text and partial link text. So simple method is by.link text and .click method. Simple. We have to use click method. But for links, we have to use the locator is by.link text and by.partial link text. But don't use send keys. We have to use .click method. Very simple question. How to submit a form using Selenium WebDriver, guys? Let's see, one button is there. Submit method on a element to submit a form. Okay, so simple driver.find element, simple by.id and .submit method. Instead of .click on submit button, you can use .submit method also. Okay, so this will also work. You can also click method on element which does the submission. See, you can use .click also, but alternatively they have given the new thing that is .submit method. Simple. So they will ask you how to submit a form. So simple .submit, driver.find element and .submit method, and this element is ID of that particular button, the submit button. Okay. Now again, one more interview important question, that how to press enter key on a text box in Selenium WebDriver. How to press enter key. So you have to use keys events. Okay, so simple keys events, guys. We have to use Selenium enum keys with the constant enter. So simple, very simple line that you have to write. Driver dot find element, driver dot find element by dot xpath of that particular, okay, let's see, button or element or whatever, send keys. Keys is the class, that's why K capital. Keys dot enter. Simple. Keys dot enter. Okay, so this is what we have to use. Okay, let's say you want to use keys dot tab. So keys dot tab, simple keyword event will be performed by using this keys class. Keys dot enter. Let's say you want to press control S, so you have to use keys dot control, okay, plus S. Okay, you have to write the combination of both the things. Okay, so the moment you enter keys dot, you will, and press after control space, you will see a lot of options for enter, for shift, for tab, okay, for F1, F2, and so many options are available. You can do that. Simple. Very quick question they might ask you, although I mean it's very simple question, that how will you pause the script for 5 seconds? Thread dot sleep, static wait, right? Simple thread dot sleep for 5 seconds, right? Is Selenium server needed to run Selenium WebDriver script? What is the question? That do we need Selenium server to run Selenium WebDriver script? Yes, if you want to execute, when we run distribution Selenium WebDriver script to execute using Selenium grid, in that case we use Selenium server. If you want to execute your Selenium WebDriver scripts in your local machine, in that case, we don't need that. We don't need any Selenium standalone server. We don't need any servers. Okay. See, we never use any servers for execution of these scripts, right? But the same script, if you want to execute on Selenium Grid, on some remote machine or some VM machine, right? So Selenium Server is the responsible person which will control the things. It will create a hub which will be connected to the node and everything. So we have to use hub and node concept over there in that case, guys. Okay. So if you want to execute on your local machine, in that case, we don't need any server. But if you want to execute on remote machine or any some different machines from your machine, in that case, we use Selenium Server. Okay. Okay. What is the alternative to driver.get method to open the URL? So there are two ways, okay, to launch the URL. First way is driver.get URL and driver.navigate.to and pass the URL. Okay, these are the two things are there. And what is the difference? Difference is, guys, they will ask you, this question is sometimes, famous, that they might ask you what is the difference between driver.get and driver.navigate.to. Very simple, that driver.get to open an URL and it will wait till the whole page gets loaded. Okay. Driver.navigate. Okay, navigate to an URL, it will not wait till the whole page gets loaded. See, I'll give you a very quick example. See, this is a freecrm.com, right? And I'll enter this site, freecrm.com. See, it's loading. Sometime it keeps loading, right? Or sometime maybe, let's say you enter some heavy site or flipkart.com, amazon.com, it keeps loading. So if you're using driver.get, let's see, I'll open flipkart.com. See, page is still loading. So Selenium will not perform any action until the page is fully loaded. Once the page is fully loaded, then only Selenium will perform any action if you are launching your URL with driver.get. Okay, if you're launching with driver.navigate.to, then it will not wait for that. Very simple interview question, but concept wise very important, guys. Okay. Yeah. So to navigate to an URL, it will not wait till the whole page is loaded. Okay, fine. Question number 56. Can I navigate back and forward or forward in a browser like this? I'll open any site. Let's see. I'll open google.com. Right. And after google.com, I'll open facebook.com. Right. And then can I click on this back button and forward button? Yes, I can do that with the help of navigation methods. We use navigate interface to do navigate back and forward button. It has method to move back and forward as well as refresh the page. So simple driver.navigate.forward will click on forward button. Driver.navigate.back, it will click on back button. Driver.navigate.refresh, it will refresh your page. But this is very dangerous, guys. Don't use this refresh, because the moment you refresh, immediately it will give you a stale element exception sometimes. Why? Because a DOM is again getting loaded. Okay. Okay. So web page will be loaded completely. The HTML DOM will be loaded again, once again. In that case, whatever the action you are performing, let's say you have taken the list already, and then you refresh the page, and again you're performing some action on that particular list, it will give you a stale element exception. Okay, fine. Okay, and driver.navigate.to, as I told you, that it will launch the URL, but it will not the page is fully loaded or not. What are different types of navigation commands? Okay, different types of navigation commands, that same question, these are different navigation commands are available. So sometimes they might ask you what is the different navigation commands are there, what is the difference between .get and .navigate.to, how will you perform back and forward simulation, how will you refresh the page. Okay, so these are the things are there. Current page URL, how will you fetch current page URL? Simple, driver.get current URL method is there. Driver dot get current URL. Very simple method. Simple. It will give you the current URL. Whatever the URL is going on, it will give you the current URL. How can we maximize the browser window in Selenium? Simple. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Okay. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize method is there. Simple. Right? And today's last question, we'll see how to delete all the cookies in Selenium. Simple. Driver.manage.delete cookies. Right? So these commands: implicitly wait, page load timeout, delete all the cookies, maximize the window. Okay, all these things we use over here. Okay, once we initialize our WebDriver, see WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver, and then we maximize the window, delete all the cookies, we define page load timeout, we define implicitly wait, and then we launch the URL driver.get. I am not in the favor of driver.navigate.to. Okay, because driver.get will automatically wait for the okay, until the page is loaded fully or not. Then only Selenium will perform the next action. So it is always recommended to use driver.get to launch the URL. But okay, this command is used to maximize the window. This command is used to delete all the cookies. What do you mean by cookies? Any cache or cookies are there in the browser that you have launched, it will delete all the cookies and then it will launch a fresh profile of the browser. Okay, page load timeout for the page loading. Let's say you have given the page load timeout as 50 seconds or 30 seconds. It will wait for 30 seconds at least. Okay, implicitly wait, as I told you, implicitly wait so many times that we have to give the, let's say, 20-30 seconds, which will be applicable for all the elements. Okay, that the element is found within 20 seconds, it will not give any error. If it is not found, it will give you timeout exception. Or maybe element is found within 5 seconds, so rest of the 15 seconds will be ignored. Right? So these are the, guys, 60 I mean, question number 31 to 60 in part 2 I have covered. So see guys, so many questions are there in Selenium, but the important thing, the last step I'll give you, that please go through first of all the concepts are really important, guys. If you are not aware about the concepts, then it's not good. Like, it's, you cannot crack interviews. Like, you know, you will just complain that, Naveen, I'm not able to crack the interviews. Okay, the concepts are really important. Don't waste your time. Okay, guys, don't waste your time by giving interviews unnecessary. Right, once you are prepared enough, 70-80%, then start giving interviews. And don't worry, don't lose your confidence. Okay, if you are getting rejected, it's okay. At least you got the experience. At least you know that, okay, these are the things they are asking and I have to prepare accordingly. But interview trick I'll give you, the most important thing, guys, you have to manipulate. You have to show your skills, and you can manipulate only when then you have the knowledge. Okay, right? Maybe somewhere sometime you are not aware about it, some concept that you haven't heard about it, but on the basis of your knowledge you can know the things at the runtime, at the time of interview itself, that yes. Okay, so you have to be very smart, and you have to give some different answers, some very good, amazing answers you have to give from others. Otherwise, a lot of people are there giving interviews along with you. People, companies are giving very good packages, smart packages, good compensation. Why? Because they want such kind of candidates. They don't want only basic knowledge, and you are showing 8 years or 7 years experience with 2 years experience in Selenium, so they won't consider you. So please change your resume accordingly, guys. That's very important. Mention at least 3 to 4 years of experience with the full-fledged knowledge of framework, TestNG, these tools like Cucumber, TestNG, Maven, and all those stuff. They're expecting these kind of things. Why would they give you good amount of packages? I have taken a lot of interviews in my company, in my previous company, that people are having, let's say, I'll give you an example, that people are having, let's see, around 5 lakhs of package, and they're directly asking, Naveen, I want 10 to 12 lakhs of package. But their knowledge is very basic and they are very rigid about it. So at least have some courtesy before asking, such kind of packages, but you have to show your knowledge at a time of interview. Guys, I have seen people having only 2 years of experience or 1 year experience. They are getting good amount of packages by showing their skills. Okay, by showing their skills. So interview is the most important thing, so that you can impress your feedback will be noted down, it will be shared with your hiring manager, will be shared your HR manager, and on the basis of that they might, if they get impressed, they might give you good amount of packages also, right? So that's a different thing, guys. But if you really want to move your career from manual to automation, or you are team lead in 7 years manual experience or something like this, is the right time to switch from manual to automation. So please go through all the Selenium videos that I have created, refer some blogs, do daily practice at least 1 or 2 hours on Selenium things. Don't ask that, okay, please share the interview question which are asking in this company, in X company or Y company or Accenture or Wipro or Walmart or Google. No, nobody will help you in this case. If your concepts are good, then you don't need any questions for the specific company. You never know who is the guy who is taking interview for you, right? So please go through it, all those things, and then I think you are good to go. I'm pretty much confident that you guys can easily do that. These things are very simple. You need just proper direction, guys. Okay, so that's the thing in the second interview. I mean, the second interview tutorial, interview question tutorial. And after this 100 question series, what exactly we will do, guys? We will, I will prepare some interview questions on some very interesting things, like on Maven, TestNG, okay, Cucumber, how to explain about yourself, how to explain the project and everything. Okay, most of the people, they are describing the project, full-fledged project. This was a module in my project, this was a page in my mod. So nobody's bothered about it. Don't, okay, I mean, don't make them bored that, okay, you're explaining about each and everything about your project. No, they don't want to hear those things. You have to share your automation skills. Let's say you're working in Flipkart and you are explaining about each and every product. We had this module, we had this, we were doing this, okay, we had this kind of business, this kind of pages, this kind of test scenarios. No, don't explain these things. Nobody is bothered about it, what exactly Flipkart or Amazon or some other companies they are doing, right? So please explain the proper automation skills, automation knowledge that you have to show. That's the important thing. Okay, so we will cover those things, don't worry. So for today, that's all. I think some crackers are okay. So thank you, guys, and please subscribe to the video channel, and let me know if you have any issues. Thank you so much.